Today at the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, we are going to go through the AEW Double or Nothing review. There were 2 title changes, a betrayal, and much more, guys. And it was an incredible pay-per-view. There was a little bit of a cluster, that went on, but we're going to go through that. So stay tuned to the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
We came out here to tell you to your face, you can't get ready for us. No, sir.
And we are live through Facebook and YouTube, guys, and we're going to go through the Double or Nothing. I don't know how you guys felt about the pay-per-view, but I think the pay-per-view did its job. I wasn't expecting much from this pay-per-view because the way they did this, the storylines that didn't push it, that were pushing more of the 4 pillars and the Elite versus the BCC, but there was surprises. One surprise that happened that I didn't think it was going to happen, even though I had predicted a title change and whatnot. It was crazy. It was crazy last night. But let me start off by, first of all, the way the pre-show started. And this is one of my complaints that I noticed, and it was that AEW is starting to do things that WWE does on their pre-shows. A lot of talk, a lot of panels. I don't know why they're doing that. Why are you following that format? And you got a whole hour to do this, and you just gave us one match. That's all you gave us, one match. And the match that they gave us was nothing to look at. And the continuation with the Firm versus the Hardys, Hook, and Isaiah Cassidy, a storyline that's not entertaining to begin with. That's what they gave us for the pre-show. A 6-man tag with the Hardy Boys and Hook versus Ethan Page and I believe was the Gun Club on that. And not, the stipulation of this match was if Ethan Page loses, now the Hardys and Hook own his contract. Are we still on the same bullcrap going on since, what was it, Jeff Hardy Inc., Matt Hardy Inc., or The Office, whatever they would call back then? They still running with this. This is a boring storyline. No one cares. And of course, we saw the Hardy Boys and Hook win this match. The one thing that I was kind of concerned was Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy kind of slipped twice from the ropes while attempting to make a move. And the next thing you know, at one point he fell. And I was like, is this guy drunk again? Is he high again? This was the first thing that came into my mind and whatnot. And he looked like he got hurt. So basically, I'm going to say that he got hurt because he hasn't taken bumps in 11 months. So that, I'm going to give him a slide on that. Then we had the Blackjack 21 not Royal Rumble, but Battle Royal, where Isaiah Cassidy put his AEW International title on the line. And I thought to myself, well, that's not going to be in the pre-show. But they started introducing all these wrestlers in between 5 minutes and before the actual pay-per-view started. And they started introducing all these people in there. You had Brian Cage, you got Swerve, you had Jay White and Juice Robinson, which once I saw Jay White in there, I'm like, it's perfect for him to win the belt, the AEW International title, because it's an AEW International title. You can go to Japan where you're not allowed to go to Japan. But unfortunately, Jay White did not make it to the end. Then the pay-per-view started, and it was very exciting. Battle Royal, I can't complain about that. It was very interesting until the last part when we saw Orange Cassidy go and be the last one to Swerve. And it was very entertaining. It looked like Orange Cassidy was going to lose the belt. I mean, he took some bumps from Swerve that I was like, wow. But at the end, Orange Cassidy was able to overcome all that, and he went and ended up winning the Battle Royal. I think they're still pushing this guy to the end of the world. He has beaten everybody. and somewhere down the line, he has to lose the belt to someone sooner or later. So I don't know what they're doing with that. The unsanctioned match between Chris Jericho and Adam Cole. The way this match started with the what was to come of the cluster fuck that AEW did last night. This was the first one. You had Jericho come out with the whole JAS, and then you had Adam Cole come out with Roderick Strong and Sabu. What was the purpose of Sabu being there? Sabu came out, was throwing chairs, throwing stuff, and he looked like he couldn't take a hit from anybody because he was kind of gasping for air. Um, and at one point, I'm like, okay, why did they start the match this way? You know what I'm saying? And you saw that Sabu he's not in shape to be nowhere near the ring. I mean, toward the end, all the JS member, Roderick Strong and Sabu went to the back. And then we had Adam Cole and Jericho going at it and whatnot. And at one point, we saw Britt Baker come on when Jericho pulled out the candlestick to use on Adam Cole. Britt Baker came out with her own candlestick and started beating Jericho with it. And then Saraya came out only to get hit with the candlestick. And at the end, we saw Adam Cole go and use the same chain that uh, Jericho brought in with handcuff and handcuffed himself to Chris Jericho and started beating on him where Jericho couldn't respond. And we saw him pretty much didn't respond to the bell. Aubrey Edwards went and pretty much rang the bell in that match. But did it live to the hype? It kind of in a way, but the way the ending was just I didn't like the way the ending. So now we're gonna have this Wednesday. We're gonna have Saraya and Jericho team up against Britt Baker and Adam Cole. We're gonna have a intergender match coming up this Wednesday night. Then we have FTR versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. They got a lot of heat. I mean, Karen coming in, Jeff Jarrett's wife, as part of AEW, as being part of that tag team, she brings a lot of heat from the fans. There was so much interference in this match. I mean, you had Sanjay Dutt coming out of nowhere, and at one point we even saw Audrey Edwards get hit with a guitar over her head. Yes, that Aubrey Edwards, the referee, she got hit with a guitar shot and whatnot, which was the first time I mean, I don't know why she's taking a bump, but yeah, she took a guitar shot, and at the end, FTR kind of, well, she got a guitar shot, and so did Mark Briscoe got a guitar shot because Jeff Jarrett went and tried to hit, uh, um, was a Dax with the guitar and missed and hit Mark Briscoe. They tried everything to beat the FTR in so many ways to take those belts away from FTR, and so we saw that. And but so many interference at the end that blew up because the FTR ended up winning the match and retaining the AEW titles. And in the back, we had Tony Starks in the back. Ricky Stark. I mean, I don't know why I say Tony Stark. I'm thinking of Iron Man. Ricky Starks came to the back was having an interview, and Jay White and Juice Robinson ended up jumping him. And I don't know what FTR came to Ricky Starr's aid. So it looks maybe we're going to have Juice Robinson and Jay White uh, be the next challengers for FTR. I could see them probably beating FTR, but I hope not because I still want to see Aussie Open against FTR at Wembley or Forbidden Door. So we don't know. So, but that could be the next challengers for FTR. Then we saw the TNT title ladder match, which was this was really crazy ass match. At one point, oh my god, I'm beginning to hate ladder matches for the simple fact we saw Dante Martin in March break his damn ankle because of a Canadian destroyer that Penta did on him at the Stairway to Hell in Ring of Honor. And watching these matches with ladder is so dangerous. At one point, Warlow jumped from the corner of the turnbuckle and jumped on the stairs where Christian Cage was trying to retrieve the belt, and the ladder broke and gave way. I mean, Warlow broke his shin because he kept holding his shin and he could have a fractured shin. I mean, it was crazy. It was a crazy match. Then Warlow went and took it to another level. He went and did some Jeff Hardy top of the ladder about probably 20 feet high and did a swanton bomb on Luchasaurus on the table. So it's again more interference in this match. I mean, but at the end, Warlow pulls it off. At least we didn't see a title change with the TNT belt because this belt is called the hot potato belt. Every time, every other pay per view, we see them, they lose the belt, whatever the case may be. So this, I mean, it was crazy. Warlow hit a swanton bomb from 20 feet in the air from a ladder onto Luchasaurus through a table, which it was ridiculous. Now, this match that came up was the AEW Women's World Title match. Tony Storm, the challenger, versus Jamie Hayter. Now, I don't know if Jamie Hayter was still hurt, but this match was a clusterfuck. And I'm going to say that because, first of all, in the beginning of the match, Tony Storm comes in, and then they do the introduction for Jamie Hayter. She does not come out. Then they try it again, and then all of a sudden you see the Outcast, Saraya and Ruby Soho beating on Jamie Hayter, and they started beating up on her. Then next thing you know, she made it to the ring, and they kept interfering. Outcast kept interfering until probably Rebecca came out again, started beating on Saraya and whatnot. And at the end, the ending was so stupid in a way because it looked like the last time we saw that when Hayter beat Tony Storm was because the turnbuckle was exposed. So this is the same way Hayter lost a belt. It was quick. It probably was 5 minutes. I don't understand why they even did this. If Jamie Hayter was not clear to wrestle, you should have you should have you know done what they had to do. What's up, Mike? Thanks for coming in and checking out the podcast. Like your little emoji on your YouTube. It's cool. Um, so it was just if she wasn't clear to wrestle, she should have just gave up the belt. I guess they didn't want to go through this interim shit again, so they gave the belt back to Tony Storms. I mean, it's a good way to do it because now the Outcast has control of that world title. So you know. Then we had the trios title match, which I was scared because I love House of Black, and they had it in the house. This is the house challenge of house, whatever they call that, the house challenge. It was the House of Black versus the Acclaim, and the Acclaim again lose with the microphone and whatnot. And I don't know. I don't know why Tony Khan allows Max Caster to just say whatever he wants. I think he was just in a racist comment, which I felt it wasn't even necessary. Talk about, oh, you call it the House of Black, but there ain't no black members. Why do we even do this? Why? It makes no freaking sense to me. Um, but it's ridiculous. This is what you get sometimes from some of these people and whatnot. And it's I don't know, but the match was all right. It wasn't all that. I think the Acclaim did the best as they can. I mean, and House of Black, they are still the most dangerous 6-man tag there is. I mean, I like the way they do their things, and I was glad that the Acclaim did not beat them. Uh, the uh, the House of Black ends up retaining their 6-man titles after they pin Billy Gunn in the match. So they still and I noticed that they changed those titles. Those titles are now silver. They're not gold when they first came. I guess they're doing it because it matches with them being the House of Black and all that. So that seems. I mean, I got to get used to it. Now, the surprise of the night was the TBS title match. Now, Jay Carhill, who was 59-0 before coming into this match against Taya Valkyrie, I predicted that she was going to lose the belt, so then maybe they go and move her up to wrestle for the world title. I have Valkyrie winning that belt. Unfortunately, that's not exactly what happened. This was a good match. It shows you that Jay Carhill has improved so much compared to a year ago. I mean, many may not agree, but I think she has improved a lot. She did a Canadian Destroyer, which, I mean, everybody's doing that now, but And she did some moves that I'm like, wow, she has learned a lot. She has grown. And I like Jade Cargill, but I predicted that she was going to lose the belt to Taya Valkyrie. And she ends up being Taya Valkyrie with Taya Valkyrie's own move. You can really think of the road to Valhalla, but it's the Jaded is called for Jade Cargill. She ends up winning, and she was 60-0. Mark Sterling win, then started talking about there was no more challengers and all that. Now, earlier during the day, I was on Twitter and I saw a tweet that Jay Cargill went and said that Chris Stanlander was made out of glass. And sure and behold, who shows up after Jay Cargill retains her belt and Mark Sterling said he'll pull the title anytime, anywhere for anybody but Chris Stanlander. Chris Stanlander ends up beating uh, Jay Cargill for the TBS title, ending her 60 win streak. 60 win streak, which is unheard of. She ends up ending that streak. Now, where does this Jay Cargill go from here? I'm sure they're probably going to have another wrestling match where probably Chris Stanley is going to end up winning that feud with Jay Cargill, and then Jay Cargill may move up and go after the world title. She would look fantastic with that AEW Women's title, not being held by Toni Storm, which will be cool, but we'll see. The Four Pillars four-way match between Jungle Boy, MJF, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara. This match, lived up to the hype. It was everything that you could imagine and whatnot. But the way MJF retained the belt shows you that this man is not only smart, but he knows his way around that ring. And then at one point, we saw all these guys going at it outside. At one point, they locked themselves in different variation holds. It was crazy. But at the end, MJF went and put the world title on top of Jungle Boy, who's already hurt by Darby Allin. And when Darby Allin went and hit his coffin drop from the corner, the belt was laying on top of Jungle Boy. So both wrestlers got hurt. And slow and behold, MJF pins again Darby Allin on a simple headlock and pins on a side headlock, pins Darby Allin to retain the belt. And lastly, but not least, the main event. It was a double main event, but this was the main event. We saw the Elite versus the Blackpool Combat Club. And let me tell you something. It goes to show you the Blackpool Combat Club, they are trained for this. This is what they do. This is everything you can imagine. At one point, Kenny Omega was thrown on a poker chip full of glass and bar wires. The bar wires was not excluded of this. Thumbtacks were included. Wow. One of the Matt Jackson went and they took his boot off or his sneaker off, and they put thumbtacks on the ring, and they went. I think it was John Moxley and Brian Danielson went and dropped Matt Jackson's foot on the thumbtacks. It was, oh my god, I was cringing, and it was everything you can imagine. You had screwdrivers, we had any chairs, everything you can imagine. But of course, Don Callis was in ringside doing commentating, and he was a big factor in this match as he went and tried to distract Kenny Omega, and he sure did because Don Callis went in, and all of a sudden you see this figure with a hat and a mask comes in and attacks Kenny Omega, and the next thing you know, why not? It was Konosuke Takeshita turning on the Elite, and then went and spiked Kenny Omega with the screwdriver, and they end up pinning Kenny Omega, and the Blackpool Combat Club beats the Elite, which I already knew that was going to happen. And I had predicted that Takeshita was going to turn on the Elite. You're welcome. Because people sometimes listen to me and they think I don't know what I'm talking about. The the writing was on the wall and whatnot. So now this is and I've been saying this for months. Okay, the writing's on the wall, and this will show that Kota Ibushi will show up between now or Forbidden Door. I'm saying it right now. He's going to show up now or Forbidden Door. Could show up. So this is now a good storyline. And where all these other stories are going to end up, I don't know. But right now, we already got a match already set up. It was Saraya and Jericho versus Adam Cole and Britt Baker. So that little match is going to continue through the summer, maybe go all the way to All In or whatnot. So we'll see. The MJF's next challenger, who would it be? We don't know because now he's beating 3 guys in one night. So who knows what is scheduled for him there. So, but AEW probably gave us more than we expected. That's the way I'm looking at it. It gave us more than what I expected because they didn't. To me, honestly, they did not push the thing. Pretty much the pay-per-view like they usually do. So, but right now with Collision coming up on the 17th, and then you have Forbidden Door coming up on the 20, I believe it's the 28th. It's a lot of things going on. We'll see what happens after that. That is it for me today, guys. Again, you guys can follow me on my YouTube channel and whatnot. I'm also on the Facebook Live right now, but you guys can follow me. For those who are on the Facebook right now, you can check out the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. You want to be part of the group, you're welcome to. You also can follow me on YouTube channel. I got tons of content in there. I just did a 4-year anniversary show where we talked a little bit. My boy Jay Santy, the Turnbuckle Tabloid. We talked a little bit about Night of Champions, a little bit of the AEW Dynamite, and what's going on with AEW and WWE. Check that out. You can check me on also on the audio podcast. I just dropped it AEW review, a preview yesterday through the audio podcast, which includes the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.com. Find me Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and any audio podcast platforms that you guys like to listen to the show. So, and this will be on the audio podcast. So you guys who don't have time to sit down and watch the YouTube channel or Facebook, you can listen to it through audio. So with that, also, I could check my website, my store, veryimpressive.com. TCWR veryimpressive.com. Check out my shirts, my hats, my sweat. I got other shirts in there. Again, that's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. This is the beauty of being live. You're making mistakes, and next thing you know, it's crazy. But in the Hot Seat Podcast, official, thank you for coming through and whatnot. What's up? Thank you for supporting the podcast. Again, guys, already 4 years I've been doing this. Officially today is the 4th year I've been doing this. 5 seasons, 4 years doing this, and I want to again, thanks to those who have supported me, especially my boy Mike, Dirty Heels, Turnbuckle Tabloid, my boy Jay Santy. He always been there. My boy Michael Sorrentino, and a host of other people who have supported the podcast and whatnot. Again, I'm going to continue to do what I do best. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. This is just me. I'm going to give you what you want to hear. I'm not going to be taking sides. If AEW is messing up or WWE is messing up, New Japan's messing up, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not taking no sides and whatnot. I'm just going to give it to you the way it is. So until then, guys, thank you very much for, again, supporting the podcast. Until then, guys, be safe. And I will see you guys next week with more the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Top guy out.